everybody, it's Paul from Alexandria Knife Sharpen and Laser Engraving. So here's a good example of something that I would look up. So whenever I see something that I don't normally see, a lot of times I just like to check on it just to make sure that I'm treating it well. So I have never seen this particular Wüsthof before. So this came in the shop and I said, you know what, before I treat this like any other Wüsthof, let me take a look at it. And this is got a DLC coating, which is a diamond-like carbon coating. And this is a pretty expensive Wüsthof. This Wüsthof retails for $599. It's got a special bog wood handle. It's a limited edition knife. And you know, it's just good to keep a lookout for things like this to make sure you are handling them well and that you're doing what they need. The other thing I found interesting here was the recommended angle. Its grinding angle, it says, is 22 degrees. Now, when dealing with Wüsthof knives, you have to remember that they give their angles as inclusive, so you have to divide that by 2. So that's very low. That's 11 degrees. And that's just another thing you need to be aware of. Some manufacturers, when they're referring to knife angles, are talking inclusive angle, and some are talking per side. Usually you can tell by the number, but you could easily have a knife sharpened at 22 degrees. Normally that would be more of an EDC type knife or a hunting knife. It would be pretty high for a kitchen knife. Now, 11, in my opinion, is really low for a chef's knife, and that's why I was surprised. Normally, Wüsthoфs, you see around 28 is their recommended angle, but I actually like to put a 17-degree angle per side on most Wüsthoфs. Feels good. And you can see I threw a little bit of tape on there because once again, I just didn't want to risk messing up the coating on this knife at all. I'm going to do a little wax, Odie's wax on this handle for him. When I was cleaning the handle up, I noticed there was visible oxidation on this knife, and it's such a beautiful knife. I wanted to get it off, but I also wanted to be very careful with this coating on here. So I used this right here. I used Flitz polish. I often use Flitz paste, but Flitz polish is even less abrasive than the paste. Not by a ton, but it is less abrasive, but it did a beautiful job. You can see here, look how gorgeous. I mean, this looks like it's brand new, like it just came out of the factory. So that finish is perfect. It got that little bit of oxidation off. And I did use it on my jewelry buffing wheel. And I just want to say, I used a super, super light touch. I was just barely letting that buff touch this wheel and remove that polish. So just brushed on the polish by hand, nice and lightly, and just lightly took it off. And you can see how beautiful that came out.